YouTube, what's good? It's Plus90 here, back in with another video. And this video today is going to be mine as well as my good friends, the young assassin and his honey, Mr. Bear.
Honey, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is purified honey. How are you doing, everyone?
Steve Charisma.
I'm just sitting here, just enjoying my Chinese food, and just gonna sit back and while we just have some fun with this.
Okay.
So,
And last but not least,
Took a lot of jerking, but I finally got it off. Boy, the pressure on this motherfucker. Woo! You know how hard it is to open up these plastic tail pistols, man? That's a hard jaw to rip off, man. Oh, you sick bastards. Get your head out of the gutter. Greetings to you YouTubers out there. Thank you for all watching. I'll write your video with the young assassin, P. Charisma, Alexander Grant, yours truly, Rumor Boy, J. Money. Brought to you by Flassic. That's the tastiest crunch I've ever heard. Yeah, that fucking stork should be replaced by Shao Kahn, but not the Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. We're gonna go over the best and the worst matches for WrestleMania history. We're gonna deal with the worst first. Alexander the Great, lead the way. I'll be right back. I gotta put these back in the fridge.
okay. So we're gonna start out with the I don't know. Should we start out with the worst or with the best?
The worst.
What do you think, Steve?
worst.
Worst?
is
We're going to
actually
start out with the worst because there have been a lot of really bad WrestleMania matches out there, not going to lie. And like every list, we have a few dishonorable mentions. Or do you?
Yes, I do have a crew. One of them is, like this one, Alex. Bobby the Brain Heenan versus the Red Rooster.
Red Rooster.
Red Rooster. This match was just why, Another one, Chris Jericho versus Triple H at 18.
Yes. Shouldn't have been the main event.
Hell no. Even, didn't Triple H and Chris Jericho said the same thing?
Yeah, Jericho said it on his DVD.
Yeah, but Chris Jericho, he also said some stupid-ass comments about the WWE fans, which pissed me off, but that's a whole different story for another time.
Was it almost as bad as Casual?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And and I think those are the main ones I have, because the ones that stood out for me that was the worst are on my 10.
Okay.
They are the big shit stains, so I'm just going to leave it there.
All right, Gary, do you have any dishonorable mentions?
Since you saw for number 10, I'll be ready. I got no dishonorable mentions.
Steve? Do you have any dishonorable mentions? Dishonorable mentions.
Right, I know. I don't think I do, because I'm still going through my list, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I have 3 dishonorable mentions. Like all Putnam Crew lists, I have 3 honorable mentions and dishonorable mentions. Start out with Adrian Adonis versus Uncle Elmer from WrestleMania 2. You want to talk about, oh my dear God.
When Uncle Elmer throws a punch and then he lost his balance and he falls on his
He
ass.
fell on his ass. That was so...
Uncle Elmer. Oh, that
Uncle-
big old fat sausage titty, man.
Uncle frickin' Elmer, man. Next up, we got JBL versus Rey Mysterio from 25.
He's doing the Homer Simpson.
Hey, Homer Simpson. JBL Mysterio from WrestleMania 25. Oh my God.
Which one? Say that one again.
JBL and Rey Mysterio from 25.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking of something else.
Shouldn't have happened. Shouldn't not have
there's
happened.
one more honorable mention I forgot.
Oh.
And a lot of people think it was a good match. No. Triple H versus John Cena.
Oh, from 22.
Yeah.
Oh, you ain't gonna be hearing the last of that match.
Guaranteed.
It started with the Royal Rumble. And Edge lost the title, and guess what happened? Edge went up against Mick Foley and stole the show, ladies
Yep.
and gentlemen.
That's right. True story. And my last dishonorable mention, this one might be a little bit of a surprise, but I thought it was pretty bad. Rowdy Piper versus Bad News Brown from WrestleMania 5.
Okay, yeah. I'll tell you one thing about Rowdy Piper, man. If he tried to do that shit now these days,
Racism up the ass.
God, they would have him on death row.
Racism up the ass.
I have to admit, I don't know what. Only Roddy Piper can pull that off.
Yeah.
I mean, he did some hardcore shit back in his days. You know, against Superfly when he busts his head over with that fucking coconut. There are a couple other things too, but yeah, the match itself wasn't that good.
Oh, so bad.
Oh, another honorable mention. I'm sorry, it just came up to me.
It's
Roddy
up there.
Piper and Mr. T, the fucking boxing match.
We'll probably talk about that one a little later on.
Yeah.
Guarantee that.
I see more realistic shit in Mike
But-
Tyson.
But with Rowdy Piper, he's half white and he's half black.
I actually have a dishonorable mention.
He does.
Too, if I could say.
Okay.
It's from WrestleMania 22, and I just thought it was really bad. The Boogeyman against Booker T.
Oh, yeah.
And Charmel.
Yeah, in a handicap match, but it was more like a one-on-one match. I mean, yeah, that match just stunk.
That was dumb.
Yeah, so that's my only one.
Speaking of half that, makes me think of Paige and Alicia Fox right now. Man.
Oh, man. Shall we move on to the top 10?
Sure.
How dare you ruin my fantasy, you son of a bitch.
Wait, what's that?
No, go ahead. Let's get on.
Wait, no.
Huh?
What were you going to say?
Oh, no, you can say you're half black, half white. I'm like, man, Alicia Fox and Paige, man.
That's my reverse Oreo.
Oh, Oreo Cookie Blizzard.
My
That's
reverse
what I'm
Oreo. All right, my number 10 is something Steve already mentioned.
Really?
Yes, it is the Boogeyman versus Booker T and Charmel from WrestleMania 22. Holy mother of God. The Boogeyman, Booker T deserved more than this.
Hell yeah, he did.
And later on in the year, I believe, he won the belt, the world title.
Yeah.
And months before, he was wrestling the Boogeyman.
And the Boogeyman, you know, I can understand where they were going with, but it was one of those gimmicks where it was funny at the time, you know, like first glance, but it got old kind of quick.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why when he returns, like every now and then, it makes a good, shocking display. But
Yeah.
it wouldn't be good for like a full timer, so I say.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But overall, it was just sloppy.
Yeah.
It was absolutely sloppy. Booker T and Boogeyman had absolutely no in-ring chemistry at all. Absolutely none. And then just throw Charmel in there, throw his wife in there just for the hell of it.
I mean, you know what? Two guys that had good chemistry, even though it wasn't a match, it was a segment. It's one of the funniest fucking segments I've ever seen. Steve Austin, Booker T in that grocery store.
Oh my God, that was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. You won't go in the grocery store the same way ever again after seeing that.
He beats him over the head with a frozen pizza.
I always used to do that with my brother. Get a block of cheese. Boom! Get a block of cheese and hit my brother in the back with it. It's like, ow!
Oh my God.
So yeah, Booker T and Charmel versus the Boogeyman at WrestleMania 22 is my number 10.
Okay.
Who's next?
You want me to go? 'Cause
Rematch.
or you want me to
Go for it.
Okay. Number 10. WrestleMania 25. The 25 Diva Battle Royal.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
that's when Santino won?
And who the fuck wins?
A man.
Crowd.
A man.
So,
Okay. Hold on. Okay, this is what pisses me off about the glasses are off. This is what pisses me off about the WWE. Santino Marella. Before this, you know what he does? He's a mixed martial artist. He's a judo expert.
Stupid.
So when does female porn become popular? Just see that if that had any relevance to it.
If you want to see shemo porn, look up Bailey J. How I know that? I don't know. That's a good question.
There you go. That's good stuff.
Anyway,
That's some good stuff there.
yeah. Number 10, the 25 Diva Battle Royal. What the fuck was that? Not only was this a stupid match, it has arguably the worst conclusion I've ever seen to a match. Garbage.
And
That's like, you know, that's like a bunch of dogs trying to win the, what's that dog show called?
Westminster?
Yeah, and on its own, a fucking sheep wins.
No,
That's exactly what it is.
or a cute little kitty. If that would actually happen if you were the judge. Guarantee you. If a dog at a dog competition and there was a cat, Jerome would vote for the cat.
Yeah, I would, man. I love my pretty kitties. Yeah, that's my number 10. The 25 Battle Royal with, you know, a sea biscuit.
Seabiscuit. Gary?
My number 10. This is probably on your guys' list. Probably later down, maybe 6 or 7, maybe 5. I don't know what your guys' list is, but.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyways,
Lucas.
Anyways, my number 10 is actually the shitty main event from a shitty WrestleMania 27. John Cena versus The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the. I can't do it right like you guys can.
Go to the grave to get daughter. So much to you.
Anyway, Cena and Miz, WrestleMania 27 for the WWE Championship. I'm gonna tell you right now, it was one of the worst, yet worst main events I've ever seen. The way it ended, a double countout like that? No, that is not a way you end a WrestleMania.
Nope.
No, you don't do that shit.
Not even The Rock could save it.
No.
Hell no. And it was basically a setup for next year.
It was a commercial for 28. Which 28 plus?
It was pretty much the build-up between Cena and The Rock for WrestleMania 28. But Cena and The Miz, those two, I'm going to be honest, if that was a mid-card match, I would not complain. I wouldn't complain if it was a mid-card, but for it being a main event...
Of WrestleMania of all places.
Yeah, well, I can understand...
Oh, fuck on! It was a terrible main event!
Here's the thing about... the main event of WrestleMania. Like, I think we all agreed that the main event of WrestleMania should be for the WWE Championship.
Yes.
Right? However, some certain circumstances, it just won't work out as well. Therefore, you should have a different match to fill the last match. Look at 26.
Yes.
That was... excuse me, motherfucker. Here in Phoenix. That was brilliant. Or, well, The Rock and Cena, I can understand why that was the main event, to an extent, because of the build-up. But, come on, Undertaker and Triple H, that should have been
the main event. That should have been the main event.
Because it was the end of an era.
Like I said.
No, 27.
Oh, 27. Okay.
Like I said, if that was a mid-card, I wouldn't complain. But between Undertaker and Triple H, that should have been the main event. Not between the PG porn star fuckhead, and the Jizz. It should have not been the main event. That's why it's my number 10. Terrible ending. It was terrible ending. Terrible wrestlers. Terrible. Everything was terrible.
Everything is terrible. Steve?
Alright, my number 10 worst match. This one comes from the pay-per-view that pretty much was okay maybe to some people, but I think this one, this shouldn't have been the main event, and I think you would agree. It's WrestleMania 8.
Yeah.
Psycho Sid and Hogan.
God.
Yes.
Why did I not put that on my honorable mentions? Shit.
Yes. Well, I have that as my number 10 because here's the deal, man. nobody was really looking forward to this match. And why? Because Macho Man and Ric Flair stole it. That's why.
That, the Piper one. And I hate to cut you off because I don't want to forget it. I heard that Cycle Sid in that match shit his pants.
He shit his pants?
I swear, I'm not kidding you. I heard, I don't know if that's true or not.
He shit himself in the WrestleMania main event.
Yes, he did. That's what I heard. Folks, I'm not doing this to make fun. I'm actually serious about this. There's a rumor about that, so go ahead. I'm sorry, Steve.
All right.
That explains a lot, honestly.
Wow. But I mean, yeah, like I said, when you mentioned Piper and Bret Hart, I mean that was another match as well. And but the thing is, it just didn't live up to it, because Sid wound up eliminating Hogan, I think, for the '92 Royal Rumble, and then Hogan just drags him out of there, and Ric Flair wins the whole thing. But the match just was nothing, But here comes the Ultimate Warrior returning, and he kind of saves it and stuff. But yeah, the match is pretty much stunk. I mean, but I just thought that it should have been.
Papa Shango.
Oh, that guy.
I have to admit, his overall look and concept design was really cool, but was he was Kama and the Godfather, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kama
Mustafa.
Mustafa. I'm gonna melt this urn and make it into a necklace.
Yep. The Supreme Fighting Machine. Kama.
Yeah.
Yep. But
Yeah.
So like I just said, it shouldn't have been the main event, and it was really disappointing match. But there you go, and that's why it's mine, number 10.
All right. Moving into number 9. Number 9. Yeah, hold on. Let me make a few changes to my best list because I forgot a few. Okay, number 9, worst, is from WrestleMania 12. The Ultimate Warrior versus Triple H. You want to talk about two guys that really didn't have good chemistry? And plus, it was a return match. He no-sold... Ultimate Warrior no-sold the pedigree. He just got right back up. 1, 2, 3. It's basically a squash match. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. It was basically a squash match. And this was his big return? Really? His big return is a squash match. Stupid. He couldn't have given Triple H a little bit of offense. Just a little bit?
Is this when he was the blue blood?
It was. This was when he was entertaining as hell.
Yep.
I don't know why, but that gimmick made me laugh.
I think this WrestleMania he had Sable as his manager. Might have been.
Man.
I think Sable was his manager for this WrestleMania.
You want to know something about that match?
What's that?
I'm not going to say it was the best or the worst. Obviously that. I'm just going to say, whoa, ambulance out there. No, seriously, there is an ambulance. Alright, well, anyways, I'm going to say, besides it being a squash match, I thought it was a comical match, too.
Comical?
Why comical? Because the way Ultimate Warrior just came back, the way he did not sell to the pedigree and just took out Ultimate Warrior, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
He killed himself.
Yeah, the way he took out Hunter Hearst Helmsley like that in a few seconds, I couldn't help but laugh.
I looked at it from a wrestling standpoint. I thought it was stupid.
It wasn't stupid. It was stupidly funny. That's all I'm saying. Stupidly funny. That's all I'm saying about the match.
I disagree.
That's my perspective.
I disagree. But that's my number 9. Simply put. The fuck? Sorry. Accidentally, dropped the camera. The call you've dialed is not operating. Please dial. Try again.
Sorry, Ghostbusters is unavailable.
Alright. J Money. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9.
I don't do a tie when it's in first place. Okay? Hey! Don't you do that to me, you handsome Tom Hanks looking son of a bitch, you.
Alright.
Alright. Number 9, they have, it's 2 Undertaker matches.
Oh.
You probably already know what I'm going to say.
Gonzalez?
That is one of them, and what is the other one?
Snuka. Boss Man.
The Boss Man. Now,
We just talked about this with JVD. He said that was one of the best matches out of the 15. I'm not kidding.
anyways, yeah, The Undertaker versus Giant. If you ask me which is the worst of the two, I would say Giant Gonzalez. The reason why I had to include Boss Man is because before I saw Randy Orton and Steroid King Hippo, fuckboy Buckethead himself, take the title for the worst Hell in a Cell match, this was awful. That Hell in a Cell match was awful.
Oh,
The
yeah.
one thing I loved about that was when Boss Man got on.
I swear to God, I thought he died there.
I was just like watching him, and he's like dangling, he's like a chicken with a head, and he's just hanging there like this.
He's
I was
dead.
like, oh shit.
They just killed him.
Fucking Undertaker went back to his Western Undertaker and hung him.
No kidding.
And The Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez. Giant Gonzalez coming out in his fucking muscular Captain Caveman outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Giant Gonzalez. This guy moves like Great Khali, fucking that arm, moving on the beach to move faster than this giant. And The Undertaker, he wins by disqualification. I mean, the only good thing about that match was seeing, how big Giant Gonzalez is compared to because Undertaker's a big guy. He's like 6'10", he's 320 plus pounds, and Gonzalez is like, was he 7'6", 7'7"-ish?
7'5", I want to say.
Well, they claim he was 8 feet tall. He's not really 8 feet tall.
No, come on.
Come on, you're fucking bullshitting. But yeah, fucking sloppy, dumb, waste of time. Undertaker had way better matches, which we will get to in our best stuff. But
That's right.
Hey, J Money, about the Undertaker and Gonzalez match, the only thing that was good was Undertaker's entrance when he came out.
With the crow?
That was cool.
With the crow, yeah.
That could have been a sign of something with Sting.
Or Bobby the Brain Heenan said, "Look at the vulture! Look at the vulture!"
Bobby the Brain, man. Oh God, he's so great.
Yep.
All right, young
So,
assassin.
hey, fucking JBL, you dumb cowboy old fuck. That's how you be a heel announcer.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Young assassin, you're number 9. Number 9. Number 9.
My number 9, again, like I said with number 10, is probably later in your guys' list. My number 9 is match between a big-ass giant and a little-ass boxer.
Yep.
It was a non-necessary of a match. Why the hell was it there? I thought the guy had it won, but no. Apparently he had to cheat and come out with brass knucks to, beat him.
Say this about fucking Humpty Dumpty. He wasn't Humpty Dumpty in that match. He actually went and got into good shape.
He was like 420 pounds.
It was like 415, 420 pounds. I was like, there you go. You don't look like.
And then he went to IHOP.
He went to IHOP and
went to a fucking Chinese all-you-can-eat buffet.
Golden Corral.
So yeah,
Golden Corral.
I'm talking about the match between Big Show versus Floyd Money Mayweather at WrestleMania 20.
Brass knuckles.
See, this is when I believe it was at. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Elimination Chamber?
Yes, he came back.
Elimination Chamber. Big Show came out. I believe he cut a promo of some sort.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. I thought it was still called No. It was still called No Way Out.
No Way Out.
No Way Out. Floyd Mayweather came out. I believe he made something against the Big Show. Then I believe got on one knee and he just sucker punched the Big Show and just
Like, that was a real punch.
He gave him like 4 beat hooks.
Yeah, I mean, he was bleeding everything. I was like, oh,
He almost broke his nose.
the build up to the promo which I did not like to the match itself. And those two fought, quote unquote, at WrestleMania. It was terrible, and plus cheating like that, it was shit.
Okay, let me tell you something. The reason why that match was fucking dumb is because if you want to bring like legitimate realism, into professional wrestling, the Big Show would have fucking killed them in like 2 minutes.
Because look at this. I mean, obviously size difference. He was a freaking big ass giant. He was a little shrimp.
Like I don't know what Mayweather's weight class. I forgot what weight class he's in, but
I think he's middleweight, I think.
yeah, I'm Now, you can't make certain things work. You know, small
There we
guy
go.
versus big guy. Look at Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker.
Yep.
You know, or if this would have happened, Daniel Bryan against Brock Lesnar. Both train MMA. Both are badasses in their personal life. Sorry, Steve. In their personal life. You know, and that can work. But I'm sorry, you have this little fucking trash-talking boxer against a 7-foot, 400-pound monster.
Could apparently just squash his head like a little. I mean, look at him. He fit his whole hands around his head. Could squash his head like a melon.
Yep.
No wonder Floyd Mayweather needs all those bodyguards.
Oh my God.
Shit's bigger than you.
So yeah, Big Show versus Floyd Mayweather. That is my number 9. Terrible.
Steve K.
Well, for this one, now you know how I mentioned WrestleMania 8 for my number 10 least favorite match. So now this time I'm going to a year later, WrestleMania 9.
Uh-oh.
Now, it could be any one of them, but out of this one, this is the one I chose. Bret Hart versus Yokozuna.
Oh, the main event.
Yes.
Not only that, but the aftermath was bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing was, I just think, in my opinion, going back to the Royal Rumble in '93, I thought, that the Macho Man should have at least won it instead of Yokozuna. But that's my opinion. And
Except
with
what
Bret,
he tried to do, he tried to pin him in the Royal Rumble.
yep.
And that's how he got eliminated.
Yep, ridiculous. But the thing is, if it would have been Macho Man and Bret Hart, that would have been pretty good, but didn't look like a possibility, maybe. But I just thought, it was a disappointing one because, well, for one, the ending, because here Bret Hart has him in the sharpshooter, and Mr. Fuji just throws some salt right, yeah. And Mr. Fuji throws salt right into his eyes, and there you go. I mean, disappointing in my opinion. It really was.
Here's the thing I gotta say about that match. The shitty sharpshooter on Yokozuna. Yeah, the shit shooter. I'm calling it that just for that
Shit
sake.
shooter.
Yeah, the shooter on Yokozuna.
As big as Yokozuna's ass, I'm surprised he didn't shit on Brock.
Mr. Food, whatever the hell it was in Bret Hart's eyes, and getting Yokozuna in the
Salt.
win. See, the thing was, the aftermath of that match, where Hulk Hogan came in and won the title. No, here's my real thoughts. It should have been Bret Hart winning the title.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been Bret Hart. He deserved it,
Yeah,
not Yokozuna.
agreed.
Plus, at that time, I did not see Yokozuna as WWE Championship material. The way he was dominating, yes, but this is just me. I thought he wasn't WWE Championship material.
If you look at Hulk Hogan, you can tell, look what he looked like there, and look what he looked like back in like 87 to 90. Yeah, he wasn't on the juice, let's say.
Yeah, because of the whole steroid scandal.
Oh my God, dude.
But speaking of, that's another list we should do. Top 10 most controversial moments in wrestling history.
Man, thank you to Alex Meyer for that.
Yes, thank you, Alex Meyer, for that. Number 8. But we'll get to that in a little. We'll get to that in a different video for a different time. Number 8 for me is a recent match. Kind of recent match. WrestleMania 29. You want to talk about one of the worst finishes to a match you've ever seen in your life. Ryback versus Mark Henry.
That made me laugh my fucking
That made me laugh my ass off. When he picked him up for the shell shock, he falls on him.
We were talking about Yokozuna shitting his pants. No, Ryback did shit his pants. They should call him shitback.
Oh my God, he fell on him.
And that was the end of the match.
And then he had 1, 2, 3. That was it. Oh my God, do I really need to explain this or?
No,
No, you don't need to explain this any further.
Thank you, Marty. Oh, we picked up Marty, by the way.
Yes, I think because
88 miles an hour.
Hey, Miles, hey!
No, I gotta you
Right.
bet we'll talk
That's right.
God.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he has a DeLorean,
Ian has Mr. Fusion.
but I have the
Go
shirt.
ahead.
But I have the shirt. Ryback versus Mark Henry. Oh my God.
Pro
I was really looking forward to this for some reason. I was looking forward to it.
Well, I was too. I mean, you got two, Vince McMahon, I know in the back, he was jerking off to this. I mean,
Yeah, because of the big guys.
muscle bound guys. They're like, yeah, right, man. Look at those pecs.
Oh, Mark Henry. He's
They got
big. He's the strongest man alive. And then when it ended, that was the ending, really?
I
I laughed my ass off. Actually, people, on my YouTube channel, I have live reactions to this. Watch those after you watch this video. Actually, you know what? Pause that. Open up a new link.
Yes,
We'll find that video. Watch it.
please.
It's gold. That's why it's my number 8.
I'll talk
Oh.
about my number 8 because J Money actually mentioned this as his number 9.
Oh, okay.
You were talking about Undertaker and Giant Gonzalez as your number 9.
Yep.
Yeah, fucking the 8 foot tall Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman.
Your number 9 is my number 8 from WrestleMania 9 between Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez at WrestleMania 9.
What the fuck was that?
Oh, the 8-foot caveman against the Undertaker. I'm gonna tell you right now, that was one of the worst Undertaker matches I've ever seen. Those two couldn't even knock each other down until the ending. And plus, the way the ending of that match was complete shit, where he had that
Chloroform.
and he just suffocated, quote unquote, the Undertaker like he used the disqualification for winning.
Harvey Whippleman.
Well, it's like by his scrawny little neck. Man, that was one of the worst matches I've seen. And plus, the only thing I mentioned it earlier, the only thing that I loved about that match was the Undertaker's entrance. That's it. That was the only thing that was amazing.
Harvey Whippleman, he looks like a fucking turd with a bow tie and a hat on.
Harvey Whippleman.
I love Harvey.
That guy.
He's such a scrawny little shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't much except the match itself was bogus. The ending was bogus. But plus one thing I liked was the Undertaker kept doing that flying clothesline and managed to knock down Gonzalez.
Yeah.
That's the thing I liked. It was pretty good.
And that move was a part of his repertoire after that match, I believe.
Yeah. That was the only thing I liked was the beginning of Undertaker's flying clothesline. So that's all I got to say about my
All right, who's next?
I guess.
Okay, Steve, since we're going, that's how I have you guys.
Unless Marty has number 8 as well. Or, I don't
Yeah, I'm gonna start mine after his.
21 gigawatts.
know. Great Scott.
Great
Anyway,
Scott.
My number 8 is a match from Putnam's number 1 least favorite WrestleMania, and that's WrestleMania 11.
I think I know what.
Yeah, and just because, and with the thing, first time ever and probably never again, LT Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh my.
Jesus.
That is a choice.
I mean, I agree. I mean, it definitely shouldn't have been the main event.
Hell no.
It should have been Diesel and Shawn Michaels.
Even with that botched powerbomb.
Yeah, but still, it was good, seeing all them football players, like Reggie White, Mongo, Steve McMichael, and a couple others too.
Mongo.
Mongo. And the corporate guys, the $1 Million Corporate, whatever it is.
$1 Million Corporation.
Yeah, right, those guys, the beginning of the corporation. Yeah, but the match, this was, bogus, and yes, it's from everybody's not a big fan of that WrestleMania, and that's why I just have that as my number 8, because it was terrible.
Yes, it was. Romy boy.
Okay, I'm going to do number 8 and number 7 at the same time, and you'll know why.
Okay.
Number 8, this is the worst submission match of all time, and in Bret Hart's
Bob Backlund.
I love when Bob Backlund, he's like, do you good? He's like, ah! I was like, what the fuck? Just horrible. Bob Backlund, Jesus Christ, man. Fucking look.
You want to know something about Bob
He
Backlund?
looks like a walking tumor.
Think about Bob Backlund. Back in the day, before he became someone who I thought who was on drugs, he was the shit back then. I mean, he was a wonderful WWE champion until Mr. Mr. Backlund, that gimmick came up, and even asked him, I thought, with that gimmick, I thought he was on drugs. Cocaine.
Yes.
He looks like a skinny Brock Lesnar if he went into politics.
Wow.
And my number 7, Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh.
You got Bam Bam Bigelow coming out, you know, and who was singing Lawrence Taylor's theme?
I don't know.
And you know,
It was Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Pepper. He's like, fuck you, one. And they're all jumping, scared shitless, you know. And here comes Lawrence Taylor. He was doing his greatest impression of Roman Reigns. Cause all he was doing is throwing spears, punches, and fucking clotheslines. That's all he did.
It was.
How did he end the match? With a clothesline. Oh, my favorite part is when Bam Bam does that fucking moonsault. That big solid fallback.
That was more of like a somersault, but okay.
Yeah. And he just squashed Lawrence Taylor. It made me laugh. And then Lawrence Taylor tries to pick up Bam Bam and do a jackknife. He looked like he broke his own bag and pulled a hernia.
Yeah.
That is my number 7, Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam
Okay.
Bam Bigelow is so much better.
Okay, so let me see where my list is. What do I have at number 7? Number 7.
I'll probably go and start my list as well. Number 10, I have.
You already did all that.
Oh well.
Well, he didn't get to say it. It says he wanted to go in. So
Unlike someone we know, Alex, Marty can count.
No kidding. Yeah, no kidding.
go ahead.
Point there.
Go ahead and give yours. So we.
Yeah, just
All
be
right.
brief.
My number 10 is probably the worst match in Rick Martel's career. Jake Roberts against Rick Martel in the blindfold match.
Oh,
in
yeah.
WrestleMania 7.
The blindfold match.
Oh my god. Let's just say, let's put a blindfold on the two most talented performers for the main match. Genius.
No,
Moving
I'm
on.
going to Jake the Snake. He's got 6 because he's a snake.
Right.
Fuck. Yeah, too bad the drugs couldn't tell you that.
Yeah, that's true. My number 9 is the Great Khali against Kane in WrestleMania 23.
Oh!
Yeah.
You gotta love that body slam Kane did. Remember what fucking Michael Polkreaser said? It resembled Hulk Hogan? Like, fuck off. Go put a dildo in your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Polkreaser.
Pulseful.
Absolutely. My number 8 is The Undertaker versus Big Boss Man from Hell in a Cell in WrestleMania 15.
Very boy.
Oh my god.
Wow.
It was basically Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness was feuding Mr. McMahon's Corporation
Yep.
Boss Man.
Yes.
It felt like
Oh, it made me laugh if Big Bossman came out with his old theme song instead of the one he had with the corporation. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Give me 7 hard times. You'll be serving hard time.
The funny thing, he was a prison guard.
Yeah, he was. Cobb County, Georgia. I used to live there.
Okay, go ahead, Marty.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm good. Go ahead. Number 7.
Now we're at number 7. What's your number 7?
Oh, my turn still.
Yeah, so go ahead. Might as well.
My number 7 is probably the worst.
What are you doing?
One of the
Battery.
worst
Okay.
WrestleManias of all time. My number 7 is Doink and Dink versus Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna in WrestleMania 10.
Oh.
That one.
The Doink character was never quite the same after the original Doink version was released in the WWE, let's just say
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
Following the character's face turn, wrestlers faced Doink and the Clown was a little sidekick known as Dink.
Dink.
Oh, crap.
You know what would make me faint if Luna Vachon and Summer Rae Seabiscuit had a match.
Dink the clown.
You would-
Alex,
I would
so
love that.
I dink.
Oh my god.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, yeah, Luke Shawn, the bulldog face against Summer Rae, the horse face.
Oof.
Guess you can summarize it that way. Never quite understood the perspective that audiences would have enjoyed this match. Seeing a little person's face run away from big wrestlers. Big scaredy cat. This match also happened to follow a wrestling clinic that put forth Bret and Owen Hart. So following that match probably makes this look even worse than it already was. And that is my number 7.
Lovely.
Yeah.
My number 7 is probably the stupidest match, one of the stupidest matches I've ever seen.
Oh,
And all of this build-up, years in the making, and it fell flat on his face. Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon
oh.
from 26.
I'm
Wow.
gonna hold off on that one.
Oh.
All this build-up, the Montreal screw job, Vince screwed Bret. No, Bret screwed Bret. He had this whole backlash between him and Vince McMahon. He comes back in 2010. They have a match at WrestleMania. And what is it basically? Chair shots. Chair shot after chair shot after chair shot after chair shot after goddamn chair shot.
Put down the chairs.
Put the chairs down. Let's fight. Stupid.
Wish you could have gotten the tables. That would have been something.
Yeah, it was stupid. It was stupid. It was just dumb.
The chairs were probably broken after that.
They probably were. No, they were. But but the strangest thing about that was they had the whole they had the whole Hart family come down. They were on Vince McMahon's side. Oh no, we're on our brother's side now. We fooled you, Bret.
We fooled you.
We fooled you, Bret. We're on Vince's side, whether you like it or not. Bullshit.
Talk about a WrestleMania April Fool's joke.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, that match was dumb. But hey, I guess you got to give it to Bret Hart. I mean, wrestling after he had a stroke, so you got to give it to him. But the match itself was dumb. That's why it's my number 7. Steve.
My number 7 is another match from WrestleMania 11.
Oh,
Oh.
It's the match that should have been the main event. Diesel and HBK.
really? You thought it was bad?
Yes, I mean, because, number 1, it should have been the main event, and 2, Shawn Michaels, who was supposed to be escorted by Pamela Anderson, but instead has Jenny McCarthy at his side, and he won the Royal Rumble at number 1.
That's actually a pretty good that's actually an upgrade, honestly, from Pamela Anderson.
I guess. Well, so, but when I saw this before back in the day, I just absolutely didn't like it, because I was a huge fan of Shawn Michaels before I was a big fan of The Undertaker, and when I saw him in that match, I was just like, he has to win this one. He won the Royal Rumble, and he has to win. But
And he had the best mullet.
Yeah. And he had his new bodyguard, Sid.
Psycho Sid.
Well, before it became Psycho, he was just Sid. So, and here comes the part where Shawn Michaels looks like he's going to win it when he goes into super kick, but the referee is nowhere to be seen. So Diesel takes advantage, gives him the jackknife powerbomb, and Michaels botches it by landing down. I know. And Diesel just gets to win 1, 2, 3. And like you mentioned about everybody just booing Diesel because what happened?
Because they wanted Michaels to win.
Yes, and he definitely should have won, and that's why I hated that match, and I wanted HBK to win. That's why it's my number 7.
Young Assassin.
And the thing
Oh, wait.
is it Pro Wrestling Illustrated or the Wrestling Observer? They named it the match of the year.
What?
It was one of those two.
That.
Let me look it up. Go ahead, Young Assassin. You go ahead. I'm gonna do some research.
Yeah, it's your number 7.
My number 7, we're going to talk about something recent that happened. Once in a Lifetime Part 2.
Oh, Roxana.
Oh.
Roxana.
That match, it's
Buckethead.
yes, the first time they fought, gonna give credit. You know, it was.
It was a good match, but it didn't live up to the hype. JVD said it.
Hell no.
I mean, literally, if you pay attention close enough, they were talking to each other through the whole match. They were talking.
That's what the Steroid King Hippo does. He calls out moves out loud.
The elbow.
That's that. And
Elbow.
The elbow.
You wanna know how bad it was? It was that bad. It literally put me to sleep. I am not joking.
Yep. We all knew what was gonna happen.
Put me to sleep. Because it was that boring of a match. It was boring as shit. We all knew who won that match. I'm not gonna say his. Well, I'm gonna say his name anyway. Mr. PG Porn Star Fucker himself won the match. We all know that.
The Fruit Loop Dingus.
Fruit Loop Dingus.
The Steroid King Hippo kept talking. The way it was, not going, a lot of action, mostly like the oldies, you know, submission type, that bull crap. And the way it was, the crowds were not having no interaction with the match whatsoever because they were falling asleep with themselves. They were just sitting there talking about the next,
Yes.
whatever the fuck movie comes out next, sipping on their soda, eating popcorn.
Elbow.
Not even caring about the match.
Elbow.
King Hippo Punch.
Yeah, and I just sat there
Hippo.
watching the match, and all of a sudden, a few minutes later into the match, I
Get over yet.
All right, you ready for this? You're gonna make. I'm gonna make your fucking head explode. Okay. Pro Wrestling Illustrated named Diesel and Shawn Michaels from 11 the match of the year.
Good freaking lord.
And the Sammy Awards named Fox City 2 the match of the year.
What?
What?
Really?
Wait, Slammy give the what the year?
Lesnar versus CM Punk at SummerSlam. The true match of the year? Yeah, it wasn't even nominated. Yet,
Bullshit.
Undertaker CM Punk was, and that was Rock Cena 2. I see more.
Stupid.
Good job, Vince McMahon, you dumble.
Absolutely.
Good job, stupid.
But anyways,
Oh.
back to what I was saying about Cena and Rock 2. It was a sleeper match. Literally a sleeper match because it literally put me to sleep. And that is something that hardly ever happens when I watch wrestling. I never fall asleep when watching. This was one of the matches that made me fall asleep.
Also,
Who's that?
another bias WWE list. They named Rock Cena 2. They named it the #1 closest pinfall of all time at WrestleMania.
Bullshit.
WrestleMania 25, 28,
Big fat fucking weenie. That is
Oh my.
27? Yeah, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
bull. It was a boring ass match. Nothing was good. It was clearly a conversation of a match, talking about whatever the hell they did in their day and what moves they're gonna do next. It was that terrible of a goddamn match.
It was like this movie, The Last Exorcism, except it was called the sequel, The Last Exorcism Part 2. I'm like, what?
Oh god, that movie.
It was stupid, and it was complete utter poop. End of story.
Yep. On a stick.
All right.
On a stick.